Hey guys, it's Jason. I'm going to walk you through real quick just some key features of the print dialog box print settings inside of Photoshop. I'm going to start by printing this image that we were working with a couple of sections ago. And I'm going to go to File, Print inside my Photoshop software. And this is going to bring up the Photoshop print settings. I know that I'm in the Photoshop print settings because it says it at the top, and you'll see why I care about that in just a few moments. But Photoshop gives me a nice little preview of what my printed document would look like. In the previous version, we cropped this image down to about 4 inches by 4 inches, give or take. And I'll show you some of those things inside this, and that way we know we're in the right ballpark here. So I'm going to start by choosing a printer. I'm going to choose the printer known as Little Squid for me. That is my inkjet printer in my office. And I'm going to choose that I want to print one copy. Right here where it says layout, you can choose your paper orientation. If you have something that's more widescreen or landscape, you can choose that you want the paper orientation to be landscape. Portrait is fine for me at the moment. And then I'm going to scroll down here to the bottom, and this is going to give me a couple of other options that I want to pay attention to. I want to position this in the center. Guys, I always position the artwork in the center of the page. I don't really love when the artwork is off to the side or to the left or to the right. So I'm going to go through and click center, and I want it to be right in the middle. Scale to fit, essentially that is going to increase the size. All right. And it increases the size to fit the actual page. And you're like, why would I ever want to do that? You guys tell us not to do that. It's going to come out blurry. I do this sometimes when I'm needing to trace something. So maybe I've scanned something in and I wasn't paying attention to the size that I scanned it in. I can go through knowing that I'm going to redraw it, or I'm going to go through and use it in Illustrator or Photoshop to create a special effect or to create something from it. It's just a template to me. So I'll go through and scale to fit media. I use this a lot, guys, when I'm trying to teach myself how to make custom type treatments. I'll go through and find somebody who's done something similar, and I'll print that artwork or that illustration style out and click scale to fit media to make sure that blows it up as big as possible so I can draw nice and large. And then corner crop marks. These marks show me where to cut. And then I'm going to choose label. So that is going to tell me what file I'm printing. All right. And then let's choose print settings. Over here, this is the print dialog box for Mac OS. All right. This is the most current one. It did change a little bit, but looks a little friendlier in my eyes. I'm going to make sure that my printer is the same as the one that I chose earlier. You guys saw me choose Little Squid. There you go. Choose Little Squid. My presets, if I have original presets saved, maybe I'm printing something over and over and over, I can save presets for that printer that will allow me to get pretty close to the same color every single time. It's not always the same, but it's close. I can choose if I want to print double-sided. I can choose the paper size. These are all the paper sizes that the printer can print. And then media quality, I can choose what type of paper I'm printing on, right? Let's say I'm printing on high gloss photo paper. I can choose photo glossy paper or photo high gloss or matte, right? I can choose my quality setting. This depends on how much ink is going to be placed down on the page. You may find that with doing a glossy print, you may not need to go ultra high resolution, right? Because it's going to be a nice, kind of a wet print anyways. If you ever pulled the print off of an inkjet printer and you're like, why does the paper feel so flimsy? It's usually because it's putting down too much ink. You can also save ink by doing this. This printer doesn't have this option, but I've seen printers that will allow you to go through and choose fast as the quality type to make sure that you're not using a ton of ink just for sampling. But if you find that you're getting lines or bands that are running through your print, you might want to go adjust the quality. So layout, I'm going to choose how many pages. If I have a multi-page document or a multi-page artboard in here, I could do that. Paper handling, this will go through and I can choose what tray I want to print from, what sheet order I want it to print in, if I want them to all be scaled to fit the paper size. There's just a lot of options here. And then if I want to print a photograph to show a client, but I don't want them to take it, I can print it with a watermark on it. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and click Save. And it's going to give me a color sync, color matching, may produce different results. But essentially what you need to know about this dialog box is that it's basically saying you could have some color shifting, right? You're going from an RGB mode to a CMYK mode, and you could find that there could be some issues. If I wanted to print this, I would click print. I'm not going to waste the paper because you guys will never see it, but the end result here would be clicking print, and this would be spit out the other side of my printer, and I would have a nice clean print from Photoshop. So hopefully this helps you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.